Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good
I'd,
evening.
I'd like to welcome back our special guest from last week, Tammy Peterson. As I said before, she is a wonderful photographer. And before we leave you tonight, I will have her give you her website so that you can contact her if you are interested in any photography services. So, ladies, last week we talked about hospice care wives. So that was an interesting topic. And like Wendy said, we are definitely not making light of hospice care because that is a very special and sad time for many people. So not our term, just a term that's been coined out there for types of relationships. So, ladies, we're going to talk about another type of relationship today, and that is someone coined it modern dating. I don't know if that title fits what we're going to discuss, but that's what they coined it. So, uh, women are usually more emotional than men and more romantic than men, and they get caught up in relationships a lot sooner than men. So, part of the thought is that women automatically assume that they're in a one-to-one relationship, a committed relationship, if their gentleman is taking them out all the time, buying them gifts, takes them around his family, goes on vacation, women automatically think they're in a committed relationship. Now, conversely, men say not necessarily, not so. We had one gentleman even tell us on a live that we were doing that he'll take down his Facebook, excuse me, yes, he'll take down his Facebook page just so that the woman that he's seeing doesn't know all the other women that he's seeing. So let's get started, ladies. What are your thoughts, Wendy, on this topic of knowing when you're in a committed relationship or not knowing?
Okay, I should have found my 11 signs and I don't know where they are, but I'll get to that later. Um, Mentioned Facebook Live something about women being in, or it was said, this person that women live in a fantasy world or something like that, right? And I think that that's when I was younger, that might have been true. Okay? Being in love with the idea of being in love and just a whole romantic notion of a wedding and a ceremony and the big white dress and all of that stuff, right? Like butterflies and, euphoria. But in actuality, love can sometimes hurt, right? It can be painful, especially if it's not reciprocated.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And it's not always not always reciprocated.
So have you said when you were younger, you thought just because you were dating someone that um, you spent time with them or whatever the case may be, that you were in a committed relationship?
Well, I think that the truth be told, it was so much simpler back then. You know what I mean? It was you guys remember the notes? I love you. Do you love me? Yes or no? Yes or
Yeah,
no, right?
yeah. Those were in middle school.
Yeah. Those were elementary school, right? That's elementary
Elementary,
school.
rather, exactly.
Yeah, but even in high school, it was just really so much simpler to me then. You gonna be my girlfriend? Or maybe they gave you a promise ring or something, to symbolize, that you guys were together as a couple.
Okay, I mean, I've never gotten a promise ring, but I do know they exist. So, Tammy, what do you think about that? Do you think that women tend to assume more than they should in a relationship than men do? Because, sometimes I'm sure men, think they're in a committed relationship when they're spending a lot of time, with a woman. Is there a conversation that needs to be had, or is it just the assumption that's okay?
Because we have this term called situationship now, I think we do need to have the conversation to ensure we are not entering into a situationship or have a situationship.
Well,
So
Tammy, explain to everyone what a situationship is.
situationship is you are in a situation that is like or mirrors a relationship, but the man doesn't want to put a title on it. Well, he doesn't want to have a commitment. I'll put you that way. So you are having a relationship, but the man does not want to be committed to
Okay.
you.
Okay.
So
So that kind of plays into what we're talking about. So yeah, I guess you really would have to look at it from that perspective, a situationship.
So it is essentially, it's a type of relationship, meaning it's a type in reference to you haven't had the conversation solidifying that you are committed to one another. Simply because the man, 95% of the time, is the one that creates the situationship or allows the situationship to be that, instead of an actual relationship.
So outside of, okay, so looking beyond a situationship, women, I think women do tend to assume they're in a committed relationship with a man without having a conversation, because he buys them gifts, he takes them on vacation, he introduces them to his family, does all those things that a man and a woman do in a committed relationship. I think women do, a lot of women do assume that, and I think that a conversation does need to be had to solidify that, especially now with this whole situationship. I think a conversation really does need to be had so that you're both on the same page, because if I'm not interested in a situationship, I need to know that that's your intention, so I don't assume so all the assumptions that I could have made prior, I no longer will make those, because you are letting me know right up front that it's a situationship, and don't assume anything. Wendy, did you find all of your
No,
signs?
not yet, not yet. I can remember. Let's see, I can remember most of them.
So,
Yeah,
so tell us what those signs are.
what the signs are. Okay, the signs are, if you tell each other you love, love was one of them, right? I love you words, if you say those to each other. You take care of each other when one of the other is sick. I think that was one of them. The introduction to the family and friends. Let's see.
I think one was going on vacation together. That was one.
Planning being included in the plans.
Exactly.
Future plans. And then also to take it another step would be vacations and trips together, right? It was 11 of them, Chris. I can't.
I know.
It escaped me now. Talking. They're escaping me now.
Did we say introduce you to the family?
Yeah, I said that. Mm-hmm.
So Tammy, so these were signs that were captured by someone, and they said if a woman is in a relationship with a man and all of these things are occurring, they're taking you out to dinner, they're making plans for vacation, they're buying you birthday gifts, they're buying you other types of gifts or whatever, you're going out to dinner all the time, that a woman has every right to assume that she's in a committed relationship. There were 11 signs.
Trust with how was it worded? Like being vulnerable with, told you a secret or something like that.
Yeah, that someone that you'll be openly transparent with, you'll tell your deepest secrets to, that you should assume that you're in a committed relationship. What do you think about that, Tammy?
Oh, that is a relationship. However,
a one-on-one committed relationship.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is a one-on-one committed relationship. The problem where the situationship arises is when the man doesn't want to label you and give you the title of his girlfriend. He doesn't want to be committed. And then that's when the relationship that you have been having with this gentleman has now developed and been or has now developed into a situationship. You have gotten yourself into a situation, and you have the word ship on it because you have been having this relationship with this person. But because the man is, because you didn't really have the conversation about being committed to one another, he never said, I want you to be my woman or whatever, then he always has that open, that door, because you can say we never had that conversation. And so when that situation arises of him saying that, therein lies the bubble of you having been in a situationship. That's the problem. You are actually in a relationship. All those things that you mentioned, those 11 things or whatever, those are relationship actions. But when it's time to, but it's never really solidified, because that man, most likely all the time, doesn't want to feel committed. So now you're in a situation. Now you've been
but those are definitely relationship attributes, but just because they're relationship attributes does not mean that they are facts that tell you that you are in a relationship. Those are just attributes of what a relationship are. Not until, in my mind, you have a real conversation about what you're both looking for as far as togetherness. Do those attributes mean anything for real? They're just that the situationship to me is first. The situationship, and you're in a situationship and you don't even know it because you're assuming that you're in a relationship, because that's what women 9 times out of 10 do in a lot of cases. When all of those 11 signs are prevalent in their relationship, they think that they are the only one. That's why I said that this gentleman said to us during the live on Facebook, he said, I take down my Facebook page so that the women I'm dating, if she asks me to, a person I'm dating, if she asks me to take down my Facebook page, I'll take it down. But it's not because she's asking me to, it's because I don't want her to see the other women.
That's terrible. Yes. And so this is where the word situation derives from. It's a relationship in which a person doesn't want to be committed.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to pass on the situationship. What do you think, Wendy? What are your thoughts on that?
I've been in some situationships. Sometimes that's all you can handle.
Well, is it all, so yeah, sometimes it's all you can handle, but sometimes it's all they're willing to give as well. So yeah, and that's where
it may be. It's a lot of ways to look at it. Sometimes that's all you might want from that person.
That's true. No, that's absolutely true.
No,
but I come back full circle to, I am not going to assume anything about anyone that I'm getting to know until I have a in-depth conversation with them about what we're both looking for. And we both say that we want to be exclusive until we determine whether or not this is really going to work. Then that to me is a committed relationship. If you say to each other that you want to be exclusive.
So look at it, ladies. So you can look at a situation like this. You're going grocery shopping and you put all these things in the basket. Well, you put it in the basket are all the attributes, right? And now it's time to be committed to it, to go pay for it. You see, with the man, he doesn't want to check out. He wants all this stuff in the basket, but he doesn't really want to check out and be committed to these items that he shopped around for and then put in the cart. So now you're rolling around in a situationship because you haven't done the next step in the process, which is paying for your items. Once you pay for your items, you are now committed to them, right?
So right, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
You're committed. So to avoid having to make a return and all that stuff, don't even bother paying for it, right? But you can just go ahead and you can walk around the store, open up the bag of chips, eat it, drink this or whatever, blah, 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 blah. But
you don't make a commitment to purchasing anything.
Exactly. And so that's my analogy for a situationship. You have all these, you have everything in the basket that you need for the relationship.
Retail therapy,
Okay,
retail therapy.
but you cannot, you can't commit to the stuff in the basket. So therefore, now you don't literally have the relationship because you haven't paid for it. You haven't bought it.
Mm.
And that's a very good analogy. I like that, Tammy. Listen, everyone out there, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to get all the new content as it arrives, just click on the bell at the top right hand of the page. And every time we have new content, you will get a hit to let you know. So please continue to watch us, leave comments, subscribe, and share. Ladies, I think that this is a really can be a sensitive topic, because I would love to be able to speak to someone who's been in a relationship or thought they were in a committed relationship because the person did all these things for them and they didn't necessarily ever have the conversation, but the assumption was there, and then they were heartbroken because a lot of times what men will do, they're with you every day, every night, and then suddenly they're no longer with you and they're getting married in 2 weeks.
That's because they decided to do the checkout process with the other person.
Right.
But they didn't check your card out.
Right. They checked the other person that they were seeing because they took their Facebook page down so you wouldn't see those people. So
yes, so that person walks out, they get a receipt and everything. They can walk out the store. The other person is just still roaming around in the store, so.
Exactly. Looking for the relationship that just didn't happen. Exactly. Any more thoughts on that, Wendy, from you?
No more thoughts for me. No more thoughts for me. No.
Tammy, anything else from you?
I don't know what to say. It's just very difficult out here nowadays in terms of men and relationships. But I'll say this. I think if the man truly is sincerely into you and genuinely like you, he'll act right. Act right meaning he won't put you in a situationship. You actually get the relationship title, not the situation. So it's just a matter of acting right based off of he genuinely likes you. You're in that category that I want the world to know about you. That's all I can say.
I have a question. So at what point should you broach the conversation about being in a one-on-one relationship, a committed relationship with someone? At what point in the developing friendship / relationship should one have a conversation?
I think if you start having sexual relations with the person now, because you're at that level with the person, it is time to dive into that conversation. Because if you want more of this, I need to, what are we? Is this a relationship? Okay. You don't want to have a sexual relationship. You don't want a situationship. Is this an actual relationship if now we are being intimate with one another? Because that's now a whole other level, right? So
right. So are you saying you're saying at the point of intimacy, that's when you have that conversation? Is it before you're intimate or after you're intimate?
It could be both. So it's just a matter if that man wants to stay at that level, that intimate level, and continue it. So we're going to continue it unless now we have defined the relationship. In your eyes, what is it, sir? I'm going to tell you what it is in mine, but what is it in yours? And let's see if what we both have in our mind matches. If it
right.
doesn't, then we probably need to go our separate ways, or I need to put you in the friend category. Most of the time, men don't want to go backwards. They don't want to be, friends, but that's all going to be dependent upon or contingent upon how, if they have an emotional connection to you. Let me say that. If they have an emotional connection to you, not just like you got a few benefits and stuff that I like, blah, 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 you cool and try. No, do they have an emotional connection? Because that is what drives the person to act right.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. What do you think, Wendy? At what point did you have
That's true, what you said about emotional connection. I think that's true. I think that it's important for us as women to recognize if you're in a situationship and you thought you were in a relationship, you have the choice whether you want to stay in a situationship or exit and find your relationship that you're looking for. It's your choice.
right? So at what point do you think that kind of conversation should be had?
Oh, I think you should have it before you're intimate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
Tammy said either before or after, but I'm kind of on the fence. I'm kind of on the fence. I feel like you have it at the point that you feel this might be someone that you really are interested in. They may not be ready to have that conversation, but that does not mean that I won't, initiate it still if I'm feeling some kind of way about that person. So, and it's definitely before intimacy for sure for me. Because I don't want to be intimate with someone unless, like Wendy said earlier, if that's the kind of relationship that I want. But 9 times out of 10, that is not the kind of relationship that I want. I want something more whole than that. So
you're a priority. They're not making excuses. They're not breadcrumbing you. Then you have every right to feel you're in a relationship, and now you just want to you want to confirm it. You've been doing X, Y, and Z of behavior that I like, that I find appropriate. Are we, well, I just want to know, do you want me to be, are we committed, or do you want to be committed? And right there, that's that defining moment. As what do they say at that point?
exactly. What do they say at that point? So listen, go ahead, Wendy. I'm sorry.
No, I said I agree.
Everyone out there, listen, we love you. We want you to listen, leave comments. We want you to share this information because you know what? It's not just us who still believes that there is a silver lining. There is still opportunity for marriage. There still is opportunity for companionship. That is a road that we are on, and we hope you are traveling it with us as well. If you're not, leave us a comment, let us know. But if you are, also leave us a comment, let us know. Ladies, it's been a wonderful evening. Tammy, once again, if you give them your website where they can reach you if they are interested in an awesome photographer.
Capturing the moments, ATL.com.
Once again, guys, that's capturing the moments, ATL.com. That's where you can reach out to Tammy if you are interested in photography services. So once again, have a wonderful week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ladies, have a good evening. Have a wonderful week, and we will talk soon.
Okay, thanks.